Okay, I think we're good. So, um, Santa has graduated today, and I wanted to do something to kind of like see her off. Everyone, artists are making this really awesome art. Um, Music people are making music. I was thinking, well, what's my skill set? What can I do to kind of, show my appreciation for this person I've grown very fond of? And the best I could come up with is to stream a fan game called Nebulanding. Neighbulanding. It's made by Joji55555. It's made in Unity, and it runs on Unity Web Player in the browser here. So we're gonna do it. I played it a little before. It can be a little frustrating. We'll put it in full screen. It can be a little frustrating because it's very difficult. This hits different now. Man, I'm gonna miss her. Yeah. See, it's very hard, and the reason why it's very hard is because there's a bit of a delay. See, there's a bit of a lag. What happens, for what happens in the game happens like a couple seconds before you actually see it happen. So you can't really react to, the jumps, and all that. You can't jump in time, you can't, do the attack button in time, unless you do it, like, preemptively, but you have to do it preemptively at the right time, otherwise you do it too early and you die anyway. But I don't think that's the game's fault. Unity Web Player is very, very shitty. I think that's more of a problem with Unity Web Player than the game itself. The game is awesome. This is, I went to college for game development, and this is better than anything I've ever done. Maybe I'm in the wrong career, but I think the game's great. I think my grievances with it is mainly, just due to, Unity Web Player. See what I mean? I actually died before I even saw the thing coming. So you can't really react to it, because by the time you press the space button to jump, you're already dead, like that. So, in a way, it kind of makes it unplayable. Well, not really, I'd say borderline unplayable. But again, I don't think that's a problem with the game itself. I think it's a problem with Unity Web Player, and frankly, I thought Unity Web Player didn't exist anymore. I thought it wasn't supported. So I actually don't know how this guy got, this Unity-made game to run in the browser at all. Which may be, kind of half the problem right there. He's using some sort of workaround that isn't meant to exist. Ah, see, I jumped. I pressed the space button, but it did not matter. But, not to sound like a broken record, but that's not the game's... And I pressed the attack button there. It's not the game's fault. It's Unity web player being Unity web player. Oh. Oh! Oh! Now, you can jump twice. I don't know if you can, like, jump infinitely. I'll spam jump and see where that gets us. It gets... And I wonder what Santa is doing now. Probably sleeping. But I mean, like, just what's she doing, like, for a job? She was an established artist before, so that's probably what she's doing, but... Oh no, it's just sad that I'll never be able to talk to her again. You're doing well that time. Because most streamers actually don't interact with the chat. Santa was different. You could basically have entire conversations with her just by typing in the chat. It was great. It was like, she doesn't know who the heck I am, but she was like, she was your friend, not just, an entertainer. That's why I really liked her. Because she wasn't just a streamer. Even though I know she wasn't, she felt like my friend. And that's really why I'll miss her so much, because it feels like I lost a friend. That's pretty much what it, boils down to. That's why I feel sad right now. Why, it's not just, the end of the character, the end of the talent, it's the end of, us. Even though there really was, none of that. I feel like you know what I mean. I'm not trying to say I had some sort of parasocial relationship, even though I guess that's kinda what I'm saying, but I don't know. It's just different, man. I gotta think of something else to talk about, because I was doing really well when I was, going on that, but, it's not really a whole lot on my mind right now besides that I miss Santa. Xenoblade 3 is out. I don't have it yet. My copy shipped the day before it came out, on the 28th. So I'm not gonna be able to play it until probably like next week. So I've been hit with a couple spoilers, but I don't think it's anything major. So I'm trying to lay low. So to maximize my enjoyment of this game, because people are saying it's like the best Xenoblade game so far. So I'm really excited to get my hands on it. Oh. But I guess going back to Santa, my favorite memory of her was the Valentine's Day stream when I made her a Valentine's Day card and she actually showed it on stream. She liked the card I made her. It just, it felt so warm and fuzzy. And I was really into the Pokemon tournament they did, the Hololive Pokemon tournament, and she won the whole thing. I wanted to challenge her for the title, but that was never gonna happen. But I think what I will be doing, is that she said that Gen 5, so Pokemon Black and White and Black and White 2, is her favorite gen. So I think what we're gonna do sometime in the future, is that we're gonna do full playthroughs of Black and White 2. I think just for fun, because it is a Gen 5 spin-off game, we'll also throw in Pokemon Conquest, because that game's just really awesome. And yeah, we'll kind of, do it in honor of Santa. There was something else I wanted to say. That ain't that the way, whenever you think, oh, okay, I want to say this, but I want to say, what I'm in the middle of saying first, and then once you're done saying that thing, you completely forget what it is that you wanted to say. This game's kind of like, it's kind of disorienting, with the way the graphic style is, the way the camera is framed, the frame rate. So I think being tired or maybe intoxicated is kind of like the optimal way to play it when you're kind of like in a state of lowered lucidity, for lack of a better term. So, kind of like in a dreamlike state. Because that's kind of like what it feels like. It's very surreal. The game feels very surreal, and I think if you're not like, 100% there, then I think you would do better with this game. Because that's kind of the type of game I feel like it is. Just something very surreal. So, if you're kind of like, a little out of it, maybe it would kind of like, you'd be on the same level, Oh. I'm not alone, 'cause you are here. Whoa. That was a mistake on my part. I like how the Sandalites, they have such innocent faces, but if you touch them, you die. And you don't just die, you explode violently. Yeah, I think Santa put it the best. Kirby is a cosmic eldritch horror game, and I think the Sandalites are cosmic eldritch horror beings. Although technically, aren't I a Sandalite? So does that make me a cosmic eldritch horror being? Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. You can't really react to something, because by the time you do, you're already dead. I'm trying to think of what that thing I wanted to say was. I mean, I realize it's 1 in the morning and I'm super out of it, but I mean... yeah... the world may never know. But it's gonna bother me. Because I'm kind of like that, if there's something I wanted to think about or wanted to say, but then I forget what it is, it bothers me. Until I finally do remember what it is. And I'm just like in this, just in a permanent state of bothered. Oh, I actually do remember what it was. I was gonna say, time zones are funny. Because Santa was supposed to graduate on the 31st. But, since she lives in Australia, I live on, East Coast, of America. Time zones are tricky because her graduation for me was at 7 p.m. on the 30th. And of course, I still managed to be there. I was not Triangle. But it was like I had one less day with her than I thought. So you really... I mean, it seems silly to say this, about an internet personality. Because, I didn't really know them, but, it felt like they were my friend. Even though I know they actually weren't. But anyway, it really appreciate the moment, the present that you have with your loved ones. your friends, your family, your Pokemon. Don't assume you have all the time in the world with them, because you never know. You never know when the last time you see them will be the last time. Because sometimes you might think, oh, I've got all the time in the world to do this, this, and this with them, and then something happens suddenly, they move away, they, get a job and they don't have, a time to speak with you anymore. And, you have their life, they have theirs, or, God forbid, they die, or they get very injured, very sick, and they just can't talk to you anymore. And for whatever reason, you just drift apart, or sometimes you just stop talking to each other. You don't really say anything about it, you just don't talk to that person anymore. Like this one guy I knew in college, we used to be pretty much joined at the hip, inseparable. And after we graduated college, we talked a lot. But recently, I haven't heard from him in a while. And we don't really talk as much. And it just kind of happened all of a sudden. And I kind of know the reason why. They got a new job, so they don't really have all that much free time anymore. So, that's less time to spend talking with me. So, I get it. But at the same time, you never know when your time with a person will be cut short. So don't assume you just have all the time in the world with anyone. Make the most of it right now while you can. Because who knows, one day it'll all be over and that day might be sooner than you think. One thing about Santa that's always gonna stick with me is she talked about taking it easy and how having fun is not a race. You might be really excited to do something. You might want to finish that game as soon as possible. So you can go on to the next game and whatever, but having fun is not a race. If you try to do everything too fast, you'll forget to stop and smell the roses, and that's no way to have fun. Of course, I'm paraphrasing, but that kind of resonates me because I am in a constant battle with myself where I like to take things slow, and I like to smell the roses, but at the same time, I also have a million things I want to do, and if I, smell the roses, I can't do everything I want to do. So, taking away from Santa, just smell the roses. Don't worry about what you're gonna do next, what you want to do in the future, just about what you want to do now. And right now, we are playing Neighbulanding, and we're not very good at it. So, what I have been playing recently, I've been playing Pokemon Legends Arceus. And I find the story and world building very interesting. And what I mean by that is it takes place in the Meiji era, which I believe is the 1930s. From the trailers, I thought it was, in the Middle Ages, but, our Middle Ages and our 1930s and Japan's 1930s were very different. I thought Demon Slayer took place in the Middle Ages, but that's actually the 1920s. That's where the Taisho era is. And I think Meiji era is 1930s because that takes place because Meiji era comes after the Taisho era, which is the 1920s. But anyway, so it kind of goes back to how everything was in Gen 1, where there is no Pokemon world, it's just Earth. And Pokemon are not just the wildlife, they're monsters. Like, there are regular animals in the world, like Indian elephants. And Pokemon are exactly what they are. What they sound like. They're monsters, not animals. And Pokemon Legends Arceus kind of takes that and runs with it. It kind of takes place in a time where it doesn't outright say this, but this is kind of like what I gather, where Pokemon have started cropping up more and more and becoming more common, that they've become a problem. And established civilization is basically reduced to these very small villages, which are protected by walls and actual guards, like actual people guarding the gates, protect the villagers from Pokemon. And if you don't, pull your weight in the village, in kind of a little bit of a communist kind of way, you will actually be exiled from the village and inevitably killed by the wildlife, by the Pokemon. So obviously, for humanity to come as far as it has to the 1930s without being completely wiped out by, by Pokemon, obviously Pokemon had to either not exist for a time or have, been kind of rare occurrences. And now that, they are becoming a problem because they're so common now, that, enough of them have cropped up and accumulated. I mean, there's one character in the game who's pretty much your rival. And he or she, depending on what gender you choose for your character, has a Pikachu, but they don't really have a good relationship with their Pikachu because they're afraid of them. They even say, like, why should this thing be able to shoot lightning? In kind of like a... talking about how, like, Pokemon are terrifying, they're abominations, they're monsters. And he looks at Pikachu and he's like, why should this thing be able to shoot lightning? How is that fair? And that line alone kind of sparked, really interesting idea in my head that, yeah, why should this thing be able to shoot lightning? Because it's not an animal. It's a monster, and these monsters were not common in the Middle Ages. They were not common in the Stone Age. They were either very rare or they did not exist at all. I think they were very rare because, we know from, like, the fossil Pokemon that, okay, Pokemon had to have existed before humanity. So they must have just been very few and far between, not enough to pose a threat to civilization, and now, in the time of Legends Arceus in the 1930s, now they've gotten to that point where they pose a threat to civilization. Because the concept of catching Pokemon in Legends Arceus, the concept of catching Pokemon and, like, being a trainer is a new concept for that, time period. Like, catching one Pokemon is considered impressive. Most people don't have Pokemon in Legends Arceus. They're not commonplace. Like, Pokemon training was still a thing before, the start of the game. You are, you're not the first Pokemon trainer, but you are building the first Pokédex. Or kind of like, a medieval makeshift version of it. You are carrying out the first ever hard, definitive research into Pokemon. The first ever, Professor Lavington, I think he's the first professor. Supposed to be, at any rate. So yeah, I just think that's very interesting. Because now in the modern games, it's always like, yeah, everyone has Pokemon. Pokemon are just, animals. And in this game, they're like, no, they're freaks of nature. Just like how it was in Gen 1, where, Pokemon were just kind of like monsters, and they were just regular animals that you would see every now and then, like those fucking fish in the background of the cerulean gym. And in most Pokemon games, you're pretty much expected to get every gym badge. And then, you know, the Elite Four is like the only like major canonical challenge that some people in universe can't do. But in Gen 1, getting all the badges is like actually a big accomplishment. And the, you know, on Victory Road, there's actually like one trainer you fight who said like, "Oh, I hear there's some sort of child prodigy going around," and then when you beat him, he's like, "Oh, it must be you." That's kind of something I think is very interesting because now in the modern games, people, you know, it's like, oh, being a Pokemon trainer is whatever, anyone can do it. But back in the beginning, it was kind of like, you know, okay, everyone can be a Pokemon trainer, but not everyone can be good at it. And now it's kind of like, oh, you know, everyone can get every gym badge. You know, everyone's good at Pokemon. You're just, you know, better than them. you're not a child prodigy. You're just better than them. They just suck. And half of this game is like RNG. You know, the platforms are randomly generated, so if you get like a shitty jump, there's really like no coming back from that. It's just over before it even starts. Yeah, see, like that. What's the menu? Oh, right. Alright, what do we got for options? Quality high. Will it be easier if we play with low quality? Like, will the frame rate be better? Credits. This is the gang voice. Alright. Let's go in with low quality, see if that... Oh. This is way better. Oh, this is way more playable. Hold up. Oh. The timing's still kind of wonky, but this is way better. This feels way more smooth. I feel like I can actually play this now. It was too much of a strain on Unity web player. Alright, let's see. Medium quality mobile. I feel like we shouldn't mess with that. Alright, let's go. Oh. Medium's not good. Yeah, medium is, I think, worse than high. Yeah, the game can't handle anything but low. Do we dare? Let's see what that gets us. Oh boy, yeah. Oh, it disables the... Oh no, it disables the keyboard controls. Oh god, this is so bad. Ugh. Yeah, okay, we're gonna turn that off. There. This is the optimal settings right here. Oh. I'm still in, like, lag territory. In, like, I've muscle memoried the lag into me. So now I'm, like, preemptively doing things. And it's throwing me off. I'm, like, doing it too soon now. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, fuck no. That was mean. Oh yeah, you're doing too well. Might as well put an impossible wall in front of you. Ah! That's the best we've ever done, though. We're getting up there. We're getting like, what's the record? What's the high score? Oh, we beat the high score. We beat the high score. Hell yeah. I am the greatest Neibulander there has ever Neighbulanded. I currently hold the world record in Neighbulanding. Take that. Oh, we crashed. Oh, the game just crashed. Oh, what a shame. Oh, it's 2 in the morning. Let's refresh, give it one more go, try to beat our high score, and then we'll call it a night. Alright, let's make sure we're on the optimal settings. We are. Let's go. Our high score was 7,000. I don't think we hit 7,100, so let's try to beat that. And, I mean, for all I know, someone might have reached a higher score than that, but that's the only score that's documented, so that must be the highest score currently in the world. And I just beat it, so now I'm the current world record holder. Finally, I'm good at something. Gonna become the world's greatest Neighbulanding YouTuber. I'm gonna dedicate my entire channel to Neighbulanding, because now it's my claim to fame. Oh, fuck you! To all my fellow Sanolites out there, never be the wall bread dog. Never be the wall Sanolite. You know, that's the Sanolite that, you know, doesn't get invited to the bakery. We'll call him Todd. He's the uncool Sanolite. I tried to do the double jump, but it didn't take. Whoa, fuck you, Todd. Oh, that was a sneaky Sanolite. So close. You ever play on that Flash site Mappy? Those games were awesome. At least I think it was Mappy. It was a shooting game with like ninjas and you had to shoot like these bouncy balls. That game was awesome. I played it with my friend Eddie back when I lived in Cambridge. I wonder how he's doing. He was a good friend. I miss Eddie. I think it gets faster the higher your score gets. This doesn't feel right. I mean, we're kind of balling right now. Oh, fuck you, Don! Well, the faster it scrolls, the more points we get. Let's go, we're on a roll. Well, I don't think we're ever going to do better than that, so I think we're going to call it here. This is a fun game once you get the hang of it, and once you turn down the graphics to the minimum, because Unity Web Player can't handle this game in its full power, which is unfortunate because it does look really cool. this probably isn't the highest score in the world, but it is more than it is double the amount of the only recorded high score of this game that exists. So therefore, any score that's higher than this doesn't count because it's not documented. This, you're seeing it right now, this is documented, and therefore I am the world record holder for Neighbulanding. I am the best Neighbulanding player in the world. Boom. And you know what? You know what? Since this is Santa, and the theme is space, I am the best Neighbulanding player in the nebula, in the galaxy, in the universe. No one is better than me. I'm finally the best at something, and you can't take this away from me, damn it. Wherever you are, however you are, I hope you're doing well, Santa. And I hope this goodbye isn't final. I hope I do get to see you again, and we can talk about Pokemon, or Kirby, or bread. Eat bread, play Pokemon, play Kirby, watch Cardcaptor Sakura. That's the Sanalite way. I miss you already. But that's the thing about goodbyes, it never really is the last one. So, until we meet again, Sayonara. I love you, and I always will.